Are you afraid homeownership is not going to be a thing that you're going to be able to accomplish because the home prices are out of control? We're going to go over that today. I have May numbers of homes that have sold so far in May, all of the obstacles that are still out there, why we're still calling it a housing market crash. I have so much stuff to go over with you guys. Like right when I zig, I'm going to zag. I didn't even go to bed last night. I stayed up, researched, worked on all of this because I feel guilty when I work on YouTube and not my normal job during the day. And maybe I should talk to my boss about that, huh? It's the DMoney channel. I think we all can agree there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of different things that could happen that could negatively affect your family. And I don't want to come on here and bring negative news or do propaganda or clickbait because no one knows the future. Oprah doesn't even know what's going to happen. And, they talk to her a lot. They do. All anyone can do is read the tea leaves and the signs of what is going on around you in the world and come up with what's happening. We do know certain things as fact. And when you start adding them all up, they don't look good. Something's a little off. As an example, the commercial real estate crisis is going to happen because if you think about it, from the pandemic, people do not go back to the office. There's huge vacancies nationally. I mean, up in 20-30% in downtown areas for office buildings. Houston, San Diego. Just think of all of the tech layoffs that have just happened. There's a lot of uncertainty going on. We can look at that and go, okay, that makes sense. That's logical. People don't really go back into the office. You can work from home. You get more done, and the world has just changed since COVID. You logically can look at that and go, okay, there's an issue in the commercial real estate world. There's over $1 trillion in debt that is coming due in the next 2 years. Logically, we know the Fed just doubled interest rates for all debt. Well, when you double interest rates and debt's coming due, guess what? Your net operating income doesn't look so good and the cash flow is not meeting the new loan and no one thinks about mortgage rates doubling. It's a catastrophe. It's a big deal. That's why we had the bank runs. All the banks had collateralized backed mortgages at 3%, 4%, double the rates. Now those bonds don't look very good. People get nervous. They have bank runs. These are all logical steps that we can look at and go, you know what? This doesn't seem right. Same thing with administration, with FHA, that you can have a 40-year AM when you default on your mortgage. So they're already thinking you're going to default. We all want the housing market to go down. I mean, at least I do. I want it to go down. It is crazy that it went up in Florida, I think almost 60% in a 2-year period. That's not sustainable. It can't work. And if it does work, how sad are we? The class system just went to a different level. You're going to have the have and have nots. I hope the housing market crashes. If you want to know the honest truth, it needs a correction. Prices need to come down to make them more affordable, especially with these rates. So you have the commercial crisis, you have Biden and FHA and HUD and VA all doing programs to help people with foreclosures because they know what's coming. It is coming. And they're saving them this time, which is wonderful. But the housing market still has to crash, and Mr. Fed, Jerome Powell, needs it to crash to get things back in line. If it's not going to happen via this route, it's going to happen via another route. Right now, there's a credit crunch. People are going to start to feel pinched and not be able to get credit. And that's an absolutely great segue, and it's totally by accident. We created a credit card book and loan with the best lenders for whatever your credit score is. And we picked each one because they're a soft pull only, so that will not hurt your credit score. It's much easier to get money now when you don't need it than when you need it. It's always the way it is, unfortunately. All you have to do is go to DMoneypedia.com. I'm going to leave a link below. Sign up for our monthly newsletter and you get the free book. You have tons of lenders that 400 to 600 credit scores, soft pull, no deposit, and how to utilize the cards and get your credit score up right away. Make sure you subscribe to the DMoney newsletter. Wow, that segue was awesome and I didn't even mean to do it. And get your ebook of the best credit card lenders and loan companies and get approved now, and then you'll have money sitting there and you'll know a few months in reserves. There's nothing wrong with that. It does not hurt you to apply. The other thing that people keep asking me as well is, when is Florida going to crash? There are some cities that I'm going to show you that are starting to show signs, and I don't want to give it too much street creds. I don't want to be one of those people that are out there saying Florida is is going down, and it's been holding on strong. It will go down, just like most things in life. And then you have our guys arguing about the debt ceiling. We are absolutely going to raise the debt ceiling. We are a debt nation. We make money on debt. We spend debt. We paper, mortgage-backed securities. I mean, we're a debt society. We're going to raise the debt ceiling. They can't have their paper not be AAA rated in other countries. See that it's just it's a silly game that they do that's very annoying, because they could be more productive if all of them, this is not one or the other, all of them stop with the games and run the country. That would be great. You're not watching it on television. You can partake anytime and start to run the country like you're supposed to. This is not a TV show. It is not a drill. We have a lot of signs that say something's going on. It's not going well. Everyone's preparing for something catastrophic to happen. And we've already had major events. We had a major bank collapse already. A few of them. Not even just one. Like 3, I believe, at the end of the day. And Jamie Dimon from Chase keeps getting fatter and fatter. Not physically, but you know what I mean. That's why I want to go over with you the data, because if you follow the data, you prepare yourself, have reserves, get everything lined up, make sure that if you lose your job, anything happens, you're protected. I don't want to come on here and scare anyone. I want to come on here being through a crash before and not even knowing I was in one. It's very slow, and especially in real estate, it takes a long time. If you don't have to buy a home, I'm sorry, don't buy one. I wouldn't do that right now, because if it crashes, you don't want to be stuck in that home for the next 10 years because you owe more than it's worth. If you can just hold out, everyone just chill. Action is not always good. Sometimes the hardest action is sitting, breathing, and doing nothing. That is actually the hardest action of all, to do nothing. We're going to go over and look at May numbers. Wow, you will not believe it. The other thing I do want to say to everyone before we go look at the numbers, because it has something to do with the numbers, we have our first sponsor at the DMoney channel. I'm so excited, with batch leads. If you're a real estate agent, a wholesaler, someone that wants motivated seller leads, batch leads has everything for you from cradle to grave. Morbid way. It has a dialer in it. It has the leads. You can SMS, text message. You can call from inside the system. Skip tracing. You can find phone numbers if you need to of potential sellers. Everything all in one application. Their data is second to none. It is amazing data. And it's all about the data, baby, when you're in real estate, isn't it? And knowing the right time when someone is in the life cycle that they need to sell. Check them out. Batch leads. I'm going to leave a link below. I will do another video about them in depth, show you guys the system, because I'm a data head, and that's why it really was for you guys why I stayed up all night. But no, I was geeking out on the system too. I was like running this number, running that number. I know I need a life, but it was a lot of fun. It's excellent software. So let's go look at May numbers. All right, you guys are not going to believe the May numbers. It is worse than April by far. I'm going to show you. In this map, I have last year's actuals for May, and then I have this year May projected out based on the sales that happen as of May 22nd, and then I used those numbers and extrapolated it and projected the rest of the month. There's also a holiday weekend coming up, so this is not going to have a lot of activity. If you look on this map, this will show you down here is the May projection. So we'll click this off, and you can see here 50, 40%, 50% down. Sacramento is like 95% down. Crazy compared to last year in May. There are no buyers and very little sellers. As we know, inventory isn't at its finest. The buyers have left the building even more. It's unaffordable. Still, you just see these numbers. It's just amazing. And you can see the data here for the May projections. 95% down up here in Seattle, Washington, that was hit heavy with the tech layoffs. It's not surprising. These numbers are horrific that will be coming out for May. The other thing I found really interesting, and I wanted to show you, and why I love batch leads as well. But when you look at Las Vegas, Nevada, this is a really cool feature that they have. In here, there's 4,082 active listings, and why ours look a little different, because we look at just single family home, residential. We don't look at if someone's trying to rent a property. We look at straight homes, duplexes, condos, townhomes that are listed. So as of right now, there's 4,082 in Las Vegas as an example. But if you look at this, you have a button here where you can put listed below market value. And for Las Vegas, there's over 2,000, I'm so blind, close to 3,000 properties that have taken a haircut, that have reduced their price. So I looked at this nationally, and I'll show you guys this list. If you look at this list, you can see below market value. I did some of the major markets. Your Atlanta, Georgia, 67% of all of their listings are below market value. So price cuts are coming this way. It has been only out in the West that they had the huge price cuts, but all of the listings you can see here, Birmingham, 61% of their listings are now below market. They've reduced the price. As you come down, you could see Boise. It's interesting. Only 21% of their listings, 70% Cleveland, Ohio. And I just did some of the big markets. And that is on the map there for you guys as well. And I'm going to leave that link below. 71%. Or is that Orlando? Yeah, Orlando, Florida. Is it finally coming? 71% of our listings have taken a price drop. That's huge. In Washington, D.C., I mean, everywhere. San Jose, you see the California still is up in the 60s, 70% of all of their listings have taken a haircut. And that's also on the map for you. And I was able to pull that via batch leads, which I love this program. I'm going to give you guys a full video on it. But as you can see, May is going to be horrific. It is not going to be fun for the real estate market. This is DMoney. I absolutely adore you guys, and check on the map below. And I'll also put a link to batch leads down below. That is a 7-day trial, and you guys will absolutely love it. I'll make sure to do a full video on for you soon. Peace out.